It appears that this human being form is facing more constantly desperate times. There is a realization from one who is from a speaker that has been enlightened that before enlightenment or awakening took place, there was much suffering, but the only suffering appeared to be from myself. Everyone else appeared to be happy. I couldn't fit in. Now, enlightenment is the realization that we are all messengers to each other. And in these desperate times, because desperate times can be seen of suffering from others once a particular body and mind has been enlightened, it is no longer about the body and mind that previously was suffering. This body and mind is now free, but this freedom to reunite with what appears to be a world that you believe in reveals that there is much suffering outside of this one that dwells as space in body and mind. So what enlightenment brings is a complete revolutionary cycle where it's all about me before. Why can't I be happy? Why can't I fit in? Why can't I have money and wealth? Why can't I have the job? Why does no one pay attention to me? And the overcoming of enlightenment is, it's never been about me. It was never about me. Me as in this ego state. It is always about all. The understanding of words like sharing, giving, equality is so clear to an enlightened being. Now, these words are for you, because what is seen from this external suffering of all, not all, many, especially children. Children are having to face up to the mistakes, the greed, the power of all this, what generations before have aimed for. Control, success, the things that me wanted. You understand? So it's very easy to see many me's out there. There's so many me's. But they're also messengers, you see. Everyone is a messenger to each other. It wasn't about this speaker or this body and mind, whatever I am. It wasn't a time for this one to become a reverse messenger. It was about being that negative messenger to others. So that enlightened saints before this one was enlightened could work and see, my God, look at the comparisons here. So these words are a one and only word. It is desperate times. It is very easy for some clarity of seeing of an enlightened being to recognize that suicide, this word that you call body death, appears to be overcoming cancer. And the worrying aspect is many young. So I want to, instead of looking at it in a human way, I want to reach deep into your soul, your true being, and try and give words, not of hope, not of belief, but words that one or two may recognize. And that one or two hopefully may be young, so that they can actually overcome this state of human desperation through greed and success and power. And I want this I that haunts us all. So I'm not going to speak in a human tongue, through human words, through human analogies of using what your ego mind understands. You're before ego mind. You're always primary. You've never ever been interested in anything else except life. All-encompassing, existing life. The body that you appear to be in happens to be life. It's very important to value all life, but not to show a deep, deep concern to trying to solve issues for others, an allowance, an acceptance, a trust in your children to develop freely with no total interest in what they are to become. So please accept these words, not your mind, but your soul. I made a video. I can't remember when. I can't remember if I uploaded it, but it is fresh. The thought of hunger is feeding itself. I want to look at these. Hunger is an aspect of life. Seeing is an aspect of life. Anger is an aspect of life. All experiences, all acts, with different flavors. I want to look at the total flavor, the whole aspects in one. Life. I would hope that beneath these words, something really, really recognizes and knows what is not being said, but being conveyed through a message from a messenger. Living. Living is all that exists. Living is that. That is living. What does this mean? Living is that. Pause. That is living. How many ways? Or does the mind try and understand this? But the whole pointing is that there, in some cases, is a gap. We use a comma, a pause. It changes the whole aspects. This is not about words. This is actually the space between the words, the void, the place where you exist right now. Living is that. That is living. Let's look at the words. Let's eliminate, let's overcome the words. Let's look at what was said. It is a complete reflection. It starts with living and ends in living. Living is that, pause, that is living. What arises from this? Arises from this pause. It doesn't arise from the beginning, from living. You see? Living is that. That is living. That is living. That is living. I can repeat, from the pause, from the space, from the gap. That is living both ways. The answer to all questions, all experiences, all seeking, all enlightenment, all suicide, depression, illness, is where everything arises from. Every clue and everything we do takes you back to the pause. Even the prayer hands. Life. This is truth. Only living exists. Living is. Consciousness is. Nothing else. But from this, that is living, takes life. There is no liver. The liver is the pause, the space, the void, the abyss. You, me, I, all one whole. There is no thing to be seeked. The seeking returns you to the seeker, the abyss, the void, the emptiness, me, you, I, all whole. Everything is reflecting itself on either side. When you see bad in your mind-based world, good has arisen There is no difference. Only the mind-conditioned way of staying on one side and accepting bad. When you realize that when badness comes, it is goodness. When pain comes, it is pleasure. When pleasure comes, it is pain. We simply err to one side. We simply think we are human on one side. Simultaneously right now, your soul is living. You are living in heaven, in paradise right now. You see? The place, the pause, the space. This is your mantra, you see. Living is that. That is living. The bigger the pause. Now, you don't want to immediately go for a big pause. Inside in your inner core being, where this pause is, where you dwell, everywhere. Before, if there is a before, living took life. In this void, in this abyss, existence and life has always been. When the body that you appear to think you are fades away, you will return, living as that, into this ultimate prayer of infinite love and joy. You will have seen what you are meant to see, but you must experience both as the same, both as appearing now. And the moment now, it always appears. You always return to this place after every single thought, every middle pause in breath, every middle beat in heart, where there's no inbeat and no outbeat. Now. Now. These words are not going to cure your human mind. They're only here to ease the mind. Make the mind more placid, more content. It will make way for this pause when it knows you have found it. They say the answer is in the question. Question has always been, what is living? Pause. Living is what? You see, you cannot go any further from the question in a mirror conscious world that we live in. You are this pure translucent essence that arises from yourself as pure translucent essence. And you have the ability to take a body and move into a body side and a bodiless side. When you only rely on your name and your body, you will suffer and remain depressed, trying, wanting. But the trying and wanting should lead you to look back into yourself for your other side, same side. The mind only understands the two that arises. The mind understands soul. It understands form, human. It understands world, planets, universes. It understands every single thing, form, formlessness, space. Every day it tries to learn more. But it cannot understand where you dwell and what you are. Mind is exempt because this is pure translucent love. Infinitely here. Living is all that takes place in both these sides. But the pause, the space, is beyond life. Go to that place for one moment. How to do it? Find that space, that pause between this, that, in between thoughts, in between breaths, in between the light switch going on and off. It is neither on nor off. You are neither on nor off. You are neither born, nor will you die. Consciousness will move away, and you will return. This is all you have to do in this body. Bibles, Bhagavad Gitas are all tools, messengers, little iconic things, meditations, standing on one leg, floating in the air, out-of-body experiences, minuscule awakenings, kundalinis, all these things are minuscule things, minuscule tools that you may need, you may require, because there are messages within them from messengers. But you have no need to finalize your seal, tie a ribbon around this body when it goes and says, well, I did wonderful things. I owned a country. Did you experience your soul? No. Didn't need that, you see. I didn't need that. Did you experience Christ? Nah, died centuries ago. Maybe you need to go back. This point between. Living is that. That is living. Is the hatch door. Is the door to end samsara. For total nirvana. To totally meet your wholeness, your whole self. Now you must go on with your daily lives and look after your children. Love them. Be kind to them. Don't have too much expectations on anything other than that they are there. Their eyes are like diamonds, that they pull you in. The eyes are the space. The looking is the space. When you dissolve as the looker, because living has no lookers. Living is the looker. And living is the looked at. And living is the looking. The void, the abyss, the pure. Pure. Pure, empty, translucent essence of life is yourself. Merry Christmas. Be kind. Be compassionate. Comfort those who suffer. Open your arms like Christ did and show them the space and invite them in. And they are healed. And so are you. I love you all immensely. From the heart of my void, from the heart of self, I invite you in. But you're already there. Living as that. That is living. Namaste.